Hey, hello everyone. This is Brave Sir Robin back to you with another EB Online 2v2 battle. This battle pits uh, the team of ACS playing as Hayasdan, along with Agathadaimon, who's playing as the Arche Seleukia, against the team of Arjos Suidorix playing as the Pahlava, and Shak playing as Baktria. Now notice that I'm not taking part in this battle, nor am I actually observing it. But Agathadaimon had asked me to upload one or two of his battles that he'd played in, and he sent this one to me and asked me to commentate on it. So that's what I'm doing. Let me just briefly go through the armies here. ACS on this wing has 2 units of the Armenian noble cataphracts, the best heavy cavalry the Armenians or the Hayasdan get access to. He also has 1 unit over here on the flank. He's taken 5 units of the Thunvarai Parsig, the heavy Persian archers, who are one of the better archery units in the game. And he's taken a main line composed of 11 units of Kartveli Dashnit Meom Brebi, the Georgian medium infantry. He's obviously not playing with the rules that we've set up here, but he just recently came back to EB, so I'm not going to fault him for that. Over here, actually, let me just go over let me go over this army first. Aga has taken as his main line 7 units of Pentodapui Phalangitai. He's brought a unit of Arabian slingers, 2 units of Loncophore Beis, which are Hellenic medium cavalry with the shields. He has 2 units, including his general's bodyguard, of the Hellenikoi Cataphractoi, who are the Hellenic cataphracts, slightly worse than the Armenian ones. 2 units of the Taxotai Syriakoi, Syrian archers. And he's sort of moving his army around. It's just making this a pain to figure out. But he also has, I believe, 6 units of Shipri Tukul, the Babylonian heavy spearmen. And you can see over here the battle's already starting. The Parthian player sent some units of archers out, and the Armenian player ACS countered with his cataphracts. He rats some of the archers, but I don't really know if it's a great move or not, because he does lose a lot of his cataphracts as they have to retreat. Now we'll do the Bactrian player real quick. Shak has brought 2 units of Thunvarai Payadag out in front, the Persian archers, the light ones. He's brought back here, he's brought a unit of Indian longbowmen, Hindus Patisyoda, who are better in melee than as archers, I would say. They have pretty big swords. He has 3 units over here of Therophoroi, Hellenic spearmen. For his main line, I believe it's 5 units of Pesatairoi, which again isn't totally in accordance with the rules, but I guess this game didn't really wasn't that strict. He has 2 units of Shuban Ifarashadada, Eastern Slingers. He has 2 units of Shreni Pataya Yodaha, Infantry Guild Warriors, which are some of the best assault units in the game. 1 unit of Kafakaran Kafakaza, the Bactrian Light Infantry. For cavalry, he has sort of a mixed bag. He has 1 unit of Hellenikoi Cataphractoi, which is general is in. He has a unit of the Dahe Skirmisher Cavalry, very light skirmisher cavalry javelins. A unit of the medium cavalry, and he also has a unit of Bactrian horse archers in the back here. Now, the Parthian player, including those archers that were routed but came back, has 2 units, I want to say, of the Caucasian archers, who, as far as Eastern archers go, have somewhat shorter range, but they have very powerful attack. So they're really great against light units. Now he also has, as his infantry contingent, 4 units of Pentodapui Phalangitai, one of which has his captain. He has, I believe, 4 units of Partho-Hellenikoi Therophoroi, the Parthian Hellenic infantry, which are decent medium swordsmen. He has 2 units of Parthian horse archers, 2 units of the Parthian armored horse archers, who are basically cataphracts with bows, and 1 unit of the Parthian noble cataphracts, the Azavaran e Azadan, which are the cheapest cataphract unit in game, and quite effective for the cost. Oh, I was wrong. He also has a 3rd unit of the Caucasian archers back here. He has 2 units of Eastern Axemen in support, and 2 units of Eastern Slingers to complement Shak's 2 units of Eastern Slingers. Now this battle starts out with a missile duel. You can expect that from Pahlava as well as Hayazdan. And then the 2 Eastern Hellenic factions, the Arche Seleukia and Baktria, also get very good missile options, so you would expect a missile duel here. Basically, you can see that they're targeting Georgian medium infantry. They're not very heavily armored, they don't have particularly large shields, so they're good targets for archers. And you can see Baktria is targeting them, as well as Pahlava, Arjos, and Shak. And this battle actually turns out somewhat interestingly. I thought it was relatively sloppy. Looking back on it for the first time, I've only seen it once before because I didn't play in it. I just wanted to take a look, see how it went. But you'll see what I mean in just a couple seconds, actually. Anyway, there's a missile duel here. He brings up the heavy Persian archers to fire at the horse archers. This is a really big, in my opinion, mistake here. It really almost loses the battle for them before it begins. And that's ACS charges up his Georgian medium infantry, who, although they do have excellent morale, are not particularly heavily armored. They don't really make great line units. And he charges them up completely unsupported. You can see his cataphracts are sort of hanging in the back over here. His archers are back here, but he has no infantry behind them. There's a fear factor from the cataphracts. They're getting shot by arrows. I guess he was just sort of hoping to move them into javelin range and then toss a whole bunch of javelins. But he does that, and then he also, you can see oddly enough, he charges with the Caucasian archers here. I'm not really sure what he was thinking. He runs in the javelin range and throws a whole bunch of javelins, but then he also charges in. And it's not very coordinated. And he sort of just forms this huge blob of infantry here. I'm not sure what he's thinking, because his cataphracts are all the way back here. And you'll see the effect of this pretty quickly. There's one route, and they're going to run right back through all their own men. And he's got the Eastern Axemen back here tossing javelins. There's another route, and you can see a chain route starting here. Yep, there we go. And these are guard-moded infantry as well, who'd expended probably all their javelins. And you can see, in a matter of, I don't know, 10, 15 seconds, the Parthian player has routed the entire, just about, infantry contingent of the Hayazdan player. And when I saw this battle at first, I was wondering, wow, why did Aga want me to upload this? Because it doesn't look like it's going to end well for him, considering this is his teammate. But the tide changes a bit, and the outcome is very much in doubt until the end. And it turns into a very close battle. So anyway, you can see this mass exodus of Georgian medium swordsmen, who probably caused a grand total of 100 casualties over here, if even. And you can see how many of them are dead over here, just javelins, melee, arrows. But they're all going to reform on the Seleucid left over here. So this actually works out to the advantage of the Seleucid player, Aga, because now he has a huge blob of infantry here, who are all pretty injured, but it's good support for his phalanx. So anyway, now we just sort of get a missile duel for a while, and this is the other mistake I thought that ACS made, besides that one, is that he just leaves his cataphracts here, in range of the slingers. And in the new 3.0 EDU, cataphracts have been given a 1 shield value, so they do resist slings quite a bit more than they used to. It's basically an extra 2 defense against a sling attack, which is only 2. But still, I mean, each one of those casualties you take from a cataphract unit is very important because cataphracts are very expensive. Okay, anyway, you can see the battle start to commence over here. And this was a mistake that I feel the Bactrian player, Shak, makes. Shak has a line of 5 Pesatyroi, and he's opposed by a line of 5 Pandodapui Fan Shai. Now, granted that there are extra phalangites on the Arche Seleukia side, but he probably should just march out and engage these guys. The Pesatyroi would definitely win in a head-on engagement. That would destroy the entire main line, and Aga would have to commit a lot of his Babylonian spearmen over here just to hold the phalanxes off. Anyway, he charges around the flank over here with some Babylonian spearmen, manages to tangle up some of these Indian archers, who have also been beaten up in the missile duel. And then he sends in some more over here against the Therophroi around the flanks of the phalanx. You can see them sort of getting in over here. So now comes a total commitment. Shak also sends his Persian archers in to engage in melee. I'm not quite sure why. I don't think that's a very good move on his part. These guys, besides being completely ineffectual as infantrymen, also will rout relatively quickly, and if he's unlucky, start a chain rout. But he does have a significant cavalry contingent back here. He does have some support infantry, especially these really effective infantry guild warriors. So this really isn't too bad for him. But really what he needs to do is move these phalanxes forward here and engage these guys. Meanwhile, the Hayazdan and the Armenian players are basically just trading missiles, actually for the majority of the battle over on this end. Okay, so now Baktria starts to commit his cavalry. Arjos has helped him out here with units of the Eastern Axemen. Can carve through the armor of the Shipri Tukul, and that's what they must be thinking because they suddenly decide to break and run. And oddly enough, the Persian archers haven't broken yet. So Aga decides things aren't looking too great for him at this point. He needs to commit his cavalry to the battle. As you can see, the Loncophori come up first, followed by a unit of the cataphracts. The Syrians are busy firing into probably either the cavalry or the melee. I'm not really sure which at this point. Anyway, these Shipri Tukul reform and actually play a very important role coming up in just a second. And that is over here. And you can see the Loncophori come in against these cavalry sitting over here. And they get in a pretty effectual charge. And then here come more Loncophori behind them. And finally a unit of cataphracts. And then the Shipri Tukul coming in right behind them. So now it's a light and a medium cavalry unit against a unit of cataphracts, two medium cavalry and a unit of infantry. And they pretty much immediately break and run. And Shak doesn't even get to use his cataphracts or his Bactrian horse archers. So that was a really important part of the battle there. And you can see over here, he managed to get around the flank a bit over here. Probably because those Persian archers broke. That's pretty much what you get for using Persian archers as melee units. So those aren't... He's not going to win over here, but he is applying pressure to the flanks. Meanwhile, he still has not engaged his phalanx. And over here, it's still pretty much a missile duel, which a slight advantage goes to the Hayazdan player, who brought a lot of heavy archers.